Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the midday update. I am Laz, broadcasting live from the home office down here in South Jersey. Let's jump right into it, as there's a lot to discuss. So I'm going to flip over to my charts here. We're going to talk about the general S&Ps. We're going to look at the SPYs. If I can bring them up here, we can look at a daily chart. Yesterday was a very, very powerful day in the market. And typically after you see power like that, what you're left with is, some sort of consolidation. Again, markets, in some markets we get stair-stepping action. We go up, we base for a little bit, and then, the trend will resume. We do have to pay attention to the broader pattern here. We do have an upper boundary or an upper trend line resistance, probably that would come into play around 145, 146 in the SPYs. So we're still, a little shy of that. I do want to pay attention here in this in this pattern to the setup from yesterday, and this is something that's worked very well this trade. This is what we call in the active trader room a 13-minute buy setup, and it's really buying the first pullback on a 13-minute time frame. And you can see the first pullback actually in this trade happened. Yesterday I highlighted this was your powerful move at the open, and this little 2-bar pullback was our buy setup. So, you want to be long against this pivot low. This is really more for the short-term traders. 143.25. We gapped up this morning. Let me just take these Bollinger Bands off here. We gapped up this morning, and since the open, which is right here, we have done nothing but chop around sideways. It is now 12:30. We're 3 hours into the day, and we have not actually gone anywhere all day. So just, again, going higher on a gap up, but pausing. And this isn't common. We can go up a time frame. Let's look at our 34-minute chart. We had such a powerful move yesterday. Upside potential target prices. Again, looking at that first impulse leg up, the pullback here to 143.25. And it looks like we could possibly see up to 145, and if we really had some power, maybe 146. So still upside left here on this trade, so long as we stay above this 143.25. That is the new short-term line in the sand here for the indexes. As far as today, today goes, not much to report because we really haven't, done anything other than gap up. It's been a very choppy session, like I mentioned before. Some stocks continuing. Yesterday's powerful move. Google, again, continues to trade higher. Google gave you that same 13-minute buy setup yesterday. You can see this powerful move at the open, a little 2-bar pullback, a consolidation, and continuing, here we're in that 1618 extension. A couple of tails up here, so it's lost its luster, but just going into a sideways, consolidation pattern. And, I suspect if we can hold above in Google 706.50, which is really right here, this new pivot, you might see another move to 715, if not even higher. So really powerful surges here in a lot of these stocks, but the further they stretch on the daily, again, you just have to be careful here. The further these stocks stretch off of the daily charts, when I say stretch, what I'm really saying is, break away off of these moving averages, the more likely they are to snap back. So stay with the long side for now, but it's definitely some cautious longs as we've seen some nice buying, and now we're just in a process of consolidating and basing. It's been a very, very good week for traders, straight out of Labor Day, just a 4-day week, but really a lot of buying. Apple flirting, another one, flirting with the highs from the Samsung news. You can see that's right around 681 here. I'll make this nice and big. We rallied back up into that high, but nothing, we didn't see that breakout there. So traders are still on alert here. We might see, a 2 to 3 day base here and then a breakout, but definitely a stock that we want to keep very close on the radar for higher prices in the near term. Outside of that, banks, Goldman, again, just powerful surge, breaking away off these short-term averages, which it's been holding for the better part of the last 6 to 8 weeks, breaking away into this 116.50, very powerful 3-day move here, into a little bit of prior resistance on the daily up here to the left, Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a little bit of profit taking in Goldman Sachs at this price. I don't necessarily know that I'd be a buyer here. I'd be chasing this one. This is going to need time to rest. It's going to need time to set itself up. If it does want to go higher, it's going to happen because the daily chart, consolidates, and we get a couple days or a couple weeks even of some good high-level basing here. You can see how stretched we are off the 21 EMA, which is down here at 106. So big, powerful surge. The one thing about this tape that I think is very interesting is that I've seen a lot of traders, try and short a couple of stocks. I know Redler, calls them the cute short stocks that run into resistance. But the one difference in this tape that I've seen more so than other tapes is just there really isn't any sellers in this marketplace. It's really more of a stair step. When I say stair step, we're going up, we're consolidating sideways, we're going up, we're consolidating sideways. So try and keep those emotions to pick a top and get into that trade. At bay, it's a very, very difficult trade to be in right now. I think, with maybe another day or two, you could see some selling and some profit taking in some of these symbols. But for right now, the action and the momentum and the enthusiasm remain to the long side. It's been a very, very strong week, like I mentioned before. We'll go back to the S&Ps. We can look at a weekly. Right, in the weekly chart, and I'll take these annotations off. The weekly just continues to rise. We have this very, very tight pattern that we were in for multiple weeks. But now breaking away, not much in terms of, cleared that 142 level very convincingly yesterday at the open. And now we're just sort of consolidating. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw some more follow through to this early next week. Possibly even a gap up Monday, but we'll see. For right now, the trade is to probably just be patient. Let some of these stocks that have had huge runs, some of the really strong names, consolidate. Another one that had a big, powerful, surge post earnings is Lululemon. Lulu, we can look at the daily. One day we opened up and we've just traded, big gains here today in Lulu into a little bit of resistance in the 75 area. So again, it's not a tape you want to chase, but it is a very strong tape that needs to be respected as such. And as always, I think that you really want to focus on quality names, stocks where there's money flow. Try not to spend too much time. If you're not making forward progress and your stocks aren't making higher highs and higher lows right now, you're probably wasting your time. Allocate your capital into places where you know that there is quality patterns, quality trends, and definitely money flow. And I think that if you can do that, and not chase price, you're probably going to wind up putting yourself into some good situations. Again, we're a little long in the tooth on the upside here. I still think the S&Ps could have some more upside Monday, Tuesday, before we maybe pull back or go into some sort of larger consolidation. So we'll see what the day brings. Right now I'm flat. Not much to do through this lunchtime hour. I see a lot of sideways happening here with a lot of stocks that have had some pretty substantial runs. So as always, a plan trader is a profitable trader, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day, everyone.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.